Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 192. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Final Fantasy collector boxes are $5.
$5 a box.
$5 for the box. It is an index that we've been tracking here on the podcast, jokingly, but then also unironically.
Yeah, because it dropped to $5. It was what, 50 when we first looked at it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Do you know what this reminds me of?
What? Pokemon?
MetaZoo.
Remember
yes. During like peak MetaZoo where people were like trying to buy the
empty boxes. Yes, because there's a way to repack them or something. I can't remember the exact scam, but it was a definite scam. Yeah.
Not really possible with the collector boxes, but
I mean, it might be. Who knows? Why else is the box for sale?
I could see people wanting to collect them for their shells.
That's fair. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it is more likely that just the box art, the box itself, is being collected. But I'm sure there's some scammy stuff. I feel like there's
for sure
at the edges of cards.
Always.
Especially anything super, super popular.
Yeah.
The more demand, the more easy it is to scam people, which sucks, but that's life.
Yeah, and a lot more new people coming into the hobby that just don't know those things. But John opened some Magic, so we're going to talk about that. And then I continue to build a bunch of decks. And
not much else to report on this week.
I've been really busy with work. So is John. So
what else? I feel like there was some news that I saw that was pretty interesting about Magic, but what was that Pioneer thing you sent me?
Oh yeah, Pioneer's dead.
We talk about that.
The professor put out a video where he just gave the peace sign over the grave of Pioneer.
Yeah, it's dead. Totally
they announced, they put on the tombstone the announcement of the format.
So I do think that we have to start with a very important Secret Lair announcement. The scornful egotist of it's a blue 7-in-1 1/1 morph. Taylor Swift.
Oh no, that's not real.
I know.
That was a joke.
Very important. I know, but it was like, what? Taylor Swift card.
No.
I'm seeing more and more of these like fake, like joke, like crossover things, and they're hard. They become harder and harder to determine if they're real or not.
You probably did what I did and clicked on our MTG proxies.
No. I knew that was fake.
Because I keep getting I don't get tricked by them, but I started clicking on them, and now I just keep getting a bunch of them. That's where I found the Soul Ring, where it's a Krispy Kreme donut.
It's like getting in your feed because of that. Yeah. That's probably true. That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
that's probably why I see those. But
I like how it's instead of paying its cost, it's order now $1.
Yeah,
Soul Ring artifact. But the professor put out a video. I watched it. It was unfortunate because I know we were talking about getting into Pioneer for a little bit, and then it seems like it was doing really well when there were RCQs and stuff.
Yeah, and now what's his complaint? Because I didn't watch the video.
Okay, so the complaint is, the fact is that it's dead. Because there's no professional tournaments on the line this year. There's standard, draft, and modern.
Oh, for the tournament.
For the tournaments.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, it's not dead. It's
for pro play.
It's active as hell, and the meta is actually healthy.
Yeah,
it changes pretty frequently. I'm surprised that's why I was like, it's not dead. I see new decks all the time now,
and that's good for Arena.
It's Arena though. It is a Arena only game format. Yes, I can agree with that completely. I feel like that's true across the board of Magic tournaments in general, though.
No. Modern's still pretty big. RCQs still have been larger than in past years.
So I will counter with something. There was a back and forth it was on Reddit of one of the game developers or whatever and a game store owner.
Yeah.
And they posted the whole like conversation. And basically what it said was this was based in Atlanta, I believe. He said there's like 5 or 6 stores down here. We used to fire all the time, and now Standard is not firing at all.
Yeah.
And the game guy was basically said, well, that's a localized occurrence and that's possible, but our data shows it's strong. But then in the comments, and this is the part that got me interested, the comments were that a bunch of people were like, yeah, I just check into whatever the code is, and my store is a WPN store, which has to have certain number of standard to keep the promos, or it gets more promos if they do a certain number.
Mm-hmm.
So they have people check in on Commander Night.
Yeah.
So they have fake data.
Yeah.
Like WotC is saying standard's fine, but then there's a big tournament in Florida this last year, and it had 20% of its normal attendance. No one was there.
So yeah, I could see that for Standard.
I think WotC's data is just wrong because the stores are trying to milk it's kind of funny. They like created this incentive to like falsify what's actually going on.
And they're making decisions around that information.
Yeah, and incorrect decisions, clearly. Like this is where it's like, so anyways, I believe Pioneer's dead. I totally believe that. Like I
in paper.
Physical tournaments was not what I thought that was about. So yeah, okay, totally. But yeah, so I do wonder how many of these formats are still alive besides Commander, because I'm very curious.
Modern and Limited?
Are they actually? Like, what was the last event that had attendance at expectation?
MagicCon Atlanta?
What was it?
MagicCon Atlanta?
And it was like sold out or whatever? Because every big event I've heard about this last year, everyone's complaining that things aren't working. So
yeah.
Yeah, this is just all through Reddit and comment posts and stuff
like
that.
Sure.
So my knowledge is weak. Like I'm not claiming actually knowing. I was just curious if you did.
No idea.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's still paper magic happening. I mean, it could just all become Commander. I don't mind.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where I've shifted to.
That's what I mean. It's been Commander for years. It really has.
Yeah. It's just, and my big thing was seeing seeing 7 expansions next year and them all being standard. I don't know if I want that many shakeups in a year.
Yeah.
Because and I'll go on a rant maybe later in the podcast about it, but so I ordered a bunch of cards to get these decks built.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose like the middle one where you get slightly more packages, but mostly through direct.
Oh no, you ordered direct?
Yeah, it was but it was only like a couple extra bucks more.
No, that's not the cost. It's I've heard the service has like dropped off a cliff recently since they moved.
Yeah, I've gotten like all 3 of my orders have been missing cards.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm sorry. If I had known you were going to do that, I would have warned you because I've heard about this a lot. Like, since they changed it from what was it, New York down to Tennessee or something, they moved it.
Kansas or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, they moved it. When that happened, I think 1, they broke up the union or the potential union or something, which pissed off people. And then 2, whoever they were hiring in the new place just were not trained properly or whatever. And so like everyone's saying, do not touch direct with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's basically you will get crap, you will have problems, you will try to get a hold of them, they will dodge you, they will ignore you. It's just like,
oh no, I didn't have that problem.
Have you gotten the cards yet?
Yeah, I got the cards, and I saw the cards were missing, and then I was just like, okay, well they were like, do you want us to send you the cards or do you want us to refund you? So, and I knew I wouldn't get the cards in time for us to go. So I just refunded it, and they gave them to me, no questions asked.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's when you try to get those cards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I'm hearing is like you just don't get them, and then you go back, and this is like over 6 months to get to a resolution that is basically they just give you your money back.
Yeah, which is why
everyone's been complaining about it. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's why I was just like, I don't know. Next time I'm probably if the next time I do this and go crazy and build a bunch of decks, I'll probably just do Card Kingdom or something that's just
That's
one
I
package.
hear Card Kingdom's the way. It's
Yeah.
slower, like quite slower, but it is you do get everything and their customer service is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then that other one, Mana something,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that one I keep hearing good things about, but I'm not sure if that's just social media marketing campaign because they're new and starting up
Hmm.
and they might be putting like seeding social media
Oh,
with fake
100%.
information. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I
Card
look at the
Kingdom's just been around a
conversations.
long time.
Yeah.
And
They're
so,
trustworthy and
yeah.
been around. The new ones, I think they're new, right? So they'll
Yeah.
have growing pains at some point, and so far people are pretty happy with it. Mana Box, is that what it's called?
I think so.
Something like
And
that.
just the
I
idea
have
of
not
getting
used
it
it yet, but it's
all
fun.
in one, just like,
Yes.
there we go. There's my deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Should be nice.
I still service people that give me giant lists. I had a deck that came through. Someone bought like 30 cards for me, and it was really cool. I actually wanted to steal the list.
You should message them.
It
Be like,
was
hey, what's the
yeah,
list? This looks really
yeah.
good.
Can I get this list? I want this. It was a black blue fairy deck, which I was very
Oh,
interested in making that way back at
yeah.
Eldraine. But we've had a lot of new stuff since then that actually
True.
looked really synergistic. And this list was great. It was like I had like a third of the deck or something. And I'm like, oh, I actually kind of love this. What is this deck? I kind of want to make one. So
Yeah.
I know fairies are played out by now. I'm sure there's a million like really stupid fairy decks because they have so many weird synergies. The fairy ones they
Yeah.
create 1/1s all the time, 1/1 flyers all the time. They do like bounce stuff, and they do. There's ones with mill, but this wasn't a mill. What was the other thing it was doing that was really fun? Oh, a lot of like I think it was like -1 counters or something like that. It was some sort of like negative. The black fairies all do this like weird little negative, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Huh.
And so they had these synergies around card draw and like putting either negative tokens or something like that. -1 till end of turn maybe is what it is, but you can do it in these like combo drops where it's like you're bouncing stuff in and out and making it happen a bunch, and you just kill your enemy characters with these little fairy magics.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it felt so thematic. That's why I loved it because I was like, they're all fairies and they all do these like little pokey stabby bits, but because the way this is all working together, it seemed like you could combo off and kill big things with just little fairies stabbing them with toothpicks. I was like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
Well,
was
that
like
sounds
every
cool.
time a fairy enters, they get -1/-1 till end of turn or something like that. I was like, oh, that's a great synergy for a fairy deck.
Yeah. That would be cool. I
Yeah.
mean, I wonder if, I mean, I'm sure there are decks you can search and find with
Oh,
similar
I can
stuff, but
find it. I can definitely find it. But it was fun to put together a third of a deck through my collection
oh,
and
yeah.
realize and most of them are like 10-cent commons. Like
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
very basic
Yeah.
cards. Yeah. That's what made it fun. It was just like really cheap, really kind of like
But then you saw the
user-lane
synergy
by
as you're pulling
themselves.
them and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
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 But if you synergize it right, then you have this powerhouse of little pokes, just like the little fairies stabbing you in the eyes with toothpicks. And I was like, this is such on theme. It's such an on theme deck. I love it.
Yeah. I will once the fall craziness in my life dies down. I am gonna get the store back up and running, but I currently don't have mine running.
Yeah.
Um,
You have
but
a lot going on.
yeah, I'm also almost done with the color sorting.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like, let me know how that goes when you go to put the store up because I'm super interested in doing that. Like, I'm very tempted to do it every time I go and have to one of these 30 card pulls.
Yeah. Are you
'Cause
separating it or no? So
what do you mean?
my end goal is to pull one copy of each card into a personal collection.
Oh, I don't care about that. I have a
Okay.
personal collection. It's huge. Like,
Okay.
I've already
You've done
ripped
that.
my store of stuff I want. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't. So that's what I'm doing. And at first I was doing them at the same time, but no, I have to do it all at once and then I'll separate it.
Gotcha.
It's just easier because there are the same card in multiple sets, and I don't need multiple copies of the same card from different sets.
I mean, sometimes you do if you want the art.
Well, okay. I'll make that. No, but then sometimes they have the same art. It's just a different set.
Well, yeah, that's not worth it. Yeah.
So I'll make those. There will be sets where I'm just like, I want both versions, and then I'll just put both sides.
Yeah,
But
I tended to grab when I did this. I tended to grab like the fancier, artier version because there'll be like a full art version of something
yeah,
that I'll have in a master set, and then the basic ones are in like 3 other sets, right?
yeah,
And those are the ones I grabbed. But now I have a few. I think like is it Fact or Fiction maybe, or one of those blue ones that was in the master set. I don't remember which one, but wasn't in the other ones. But it's also a very common card. And so I have a ton of the full art ones now in my personal collection because I kept doing that.
yeah.
Like I would be like, oh, that's really cool. And I did it like 4 times apparently. I was like, okay, I don't need this many copies. I went through not that long ago. I think
You just need the
my,
Spidey version of that one.
yeah, uncommons, I think. Yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool one. Uh, my uncommons, I think I went through recently because I ran out of space in my what are the big brown boxes that Team Covenant used to sell,
Yeah.
or maybe they still sell bulk box. I think is the brand. Anyways, it got
BCW
full, right?
or no?
No, the bulk box. Like
Oh,
they're called bulk box. It's
oh,
the
okay.
brand, I believe. It's like got a bear on it. It's really sturdy. Anyways, I have like a bunch of them, and I use them for my actual personal collection. It got full because I open stuff and
Oh, I
order
see.
stuff or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And so I went through. I was like, I know I have stupid number of duplicates of some stuff. So I went through everything, and there was a few things. This was one of them. I think it was Fact or Fiction, where I had like 12 copies in it because I had kept doing that a couple times, and they
yeah.
made a few different art versions of it, i.e., this new one, yet
Hmm.
another new art version. Because I don't know why, but they pick certain key cards and make really like awesome art versions over time. And I like having the different art. Like when I build a deck, if I can find the prettier cards, I will. I'm not going to pay extra for it, but if it's cheap because they've reprinted it a million times, I will get the fancier art over if it's a few more cents or whatever. Like I
Yeah,
do that all the time. I
yeah,
love doing that. So I guess most people do. They like to bling out the deck, right?
yeah. And that's why I'll keep like a foil copy and a regular copy.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
in 60 card decks, I get not wanting to play foils, but in
Yeah.
Commander double sleeve,
Forget it.
it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah. In Commander, it's perfect.
Yeah,
In Standard, forget
yeah.
about it. Not
No,
even thinking about that twice. Yeah.
no.
Forget it.
And that's what I have to break because like even in Flesh and Blood, I did it. I blinged out my Flesh and Blood decks, but
Oh, yeah.
I put them in like hard inner sleeves and they weren't curling.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of
my
Flesh and Blood and
towers,
shops.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But the tower, that the size of the deck, and I did watch a video of a guy that triple sleeved it, and
Oh my,
how big it got from that, and I was just like, yeah, no,
no. It won't fit in the deck box.
no, it won't.
Yeah, forget that. You don't even need double sleeve, honestly. I mean, I get it for some. Like some I do, and I know you can tell the difference. You can feel the difference. Like I don't care. Like I don't care. I'm not cheating in
No,
my
yeah,
Commander pod.
no, no,
I am definitely not someone that does things like that. I can barely keep track of what I'm supposed to be doing. I am
yeah.
definitely not keeping track of things I shouldn't be doing.
I saw this Reddit post. I'll try and find it. It was a video of it was like, do your friends get this heated at Commander Night? And then they're just like screaming at each other.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, it's not supposed to be like that, guys. It's a game. It's fun. Especially Commander. If you're heated at Commander, go play something that's actually competitive. The
Yeah,
reason you're heated is because you're trying to make a competitive
and
environment
it's not.
out of a format that's literally supposed to be jank. It's supposed to be jank.
Yeah,
Anyways, but going back, Flesh and Blood
yeah.
shops
Mm-hmm.
selling more first edition singles. They're the collectors. I wouldn't say they're back, but they are slowly picking up.
Good.
Like over the last 2 months or so, I keep selling one-offs of like $10 cards, and they're like commons. The $10 like
Mm-hmm.
either alpha versions or early versions of things. So it's definitely a thing. I don't know if there's a real collector base going, but I think some of these people that are like third wave, because I consider us second wave,
Yeah,
are now starting to go back and find
I think
older
there's been
cards
fourth
and
wave.
collector stuff. Well, maybe fourth wave, whatever it is. These newer players are
Yeah,
doing the thing we did. They're picking up those old cards,
yeah,
that are just collector versions of it. Because you can definitely get one for like $2, and then they're paying 15 instead.
yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
10.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
So
That is
I'm
interesting.
running
That is an
out
interesting
of
note.
fab cards, honestly. I had a 800 box that was pretty much full, and it's probably down to, I guess, somewhere between 3 and 500. It's hard to tell.
I did have to take out Fab Bulk out of the BCW like 4-row boxes and just put them into boxes and just stacks and stacks and stacks. I have so much fat bulk.
I know. I gave you a lot of
I
mine.
know, and I had my problem mountain before. But so now all the magic is sorted, and the only thing that's not alphabetical yet is lands. So I have all the colors and colorless and multicolored all sorted by at least first letter.
I have to think about how to handle that.
So basically what I did was, and it was helpful that most of the sets were already alphabetical.
Mhm.
And so when I go to do, there'll be, I kind of, what was the order? I sorted them out and then put them all into, I had that tray that has all the slots, and I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. And then there was enough spots on it except for U through Z, which was okay. I just put that in piles down below underneath on the table. And then most of the sets were already, so when I go to actually alphabetize them, it should be pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch of I guess they're the common like utility lands, I guess is the best way to think of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Some of them are multicolor, some of them are single color, but they're all like pay one, tap, and do a thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're the common ones, so I have a ton of them. And the problem is, some of those were really useful and valuable. Some of them are literal trash.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
ton of them. They've been reprinted a million times.
Like your exotic
And
orchards, your
yeah,
path of
and I
ancestries.
did not keep track of them. I just, whenever I had one, I threw them in my lands pile. And so
Mhm.
my lands box, I definitely have like 40 to 50 copies of certain lands.
Yeah.
I definitely do not need 40 or 50 copies of.
No.
Like, and I have not gone, that's one of those like nightmares I don't want to go back and deal with. But every time I'm going to look for lands and or put lands away, I'm like, oh, I got to do this at some point.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Those are alphabetized. I have had my lanes alphabetized for a while.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But almost there. And then once I get that, I'll separate out my personal collection and then get everything else up onto the store. And then I think having my personal collection listed in Archidect will help just knowing what I have and what I don't.
That's how you're gonna do it, Architect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've really liked it.
Is there scanning for that? I don't know how you handle
No,
that.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Do it by hand.
Mm-hmm.
My personal collection too big for that shit.
But I mean, it's one of those things I can do whenever because I'm not going to be. I've made these decks. I may tweak them here and there, but I'm not planning on making any new decks for a while.
That's fair. Well, yeah,
that's-
from the deck standpoint, I get my collection. I don't want to fucking do that. Like of cards, I have so many cards that aren't in decks.
Oh well, sure.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work.
I don't know. It keeps me sane.
I was gonna say it's a lot of work with no benefit. I see no value in knowing what's in my collection digitally. Like,
Why?
because it'll just make me mad. Like it'll make me crazy. I'll see it in there, right? Because I'm making a deck or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, okay, I have it. Let me go find it in paper, and then I won't necessarily be able to find it, or something will happen. Like no,
But you
it
will
sounds
because
like
it'll
a
be
nice-
in alphabetical.
Oh, will I? Unless it's in another deck. Remember, dude, I have like 20 freaking commander decks already.
Yeah. No, in
And I make
Archidect,
new ones all the damn time. So
correct. In Archidect, you can label which deck it's in.
Yeah, that's not going to work because I have in Archidect, I have probably 40 decks, we'll say, and I've torn from them, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have
So
lists that I like. I like this list, but it has
Yeah.
my green cards, and I want to make a new green deck, so I take everything out of that. That's like good.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's not. It won't work for me the way I've already used Archidect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and relabel everything.
And
like,
I'm
this is
starting
paper, this is
fresh.
not. Yeah, that makes sense
Yeah.
from a fresh standpoint. I still don't think. I think it would still make me crazy because I do tend to move cards around a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
My personal collection is a blind spot. I don't care how much it's worth.
Yeah,
It's a place
exactly.
where I put things. It's a nice black hole. And if I need a card, I open it up the box. I know where it is. It's in an order that I can find things, and I do it that way. I may eventually go just pure alpha with that, but that is not my concern. The pure alpha I was worried about was the store because I think it's more.
That's more important. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the one where it's like, I kind of really want to do this because I deal with this thing like every day,
Yeah.
but it's also a big ass project that I want to
Yeah,
hear
you'll
how
need to like
your result goes
yeah.
before I do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Hopefully
have
by the
a
end of the year
lot of
it'll
stuff.
be I think by the end of the year we'll be up and running.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, just let me know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good progress. You want to talk about your openings?
Yeah, so for my birthday, I opened a mom, was it
March of the
collector
Machines.
box?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, March of the Machine collector box. That was fantastic. Still my favorite. Well, one of my favorites to open. I think we were talking about Ravnica Remastered is
Mhm.
probably my favorite, but that's also stupid expensive. I actually don't know what it is right now, but I remember I was not willing to. Let me see. Oh man.
It
Oh man.
is almost
Yeah, it's
700 bucks.
Yeah, not worth opening. Very cool opening. I know I would love it again, but it's not $700 worth. The mom one was probably 500 or something. I can't remember where it is now, but I've sold from the case a lot at profit because I managed to buy that basically at the regular cost before the spike happened.
Yeah, mom's
Down
400.
Yeah, I'm down to like two left. Well, I was down to two left, so I opened one for my birthday, and
Mhm.
the other one I'll sell at a ridiculous price. And then I ordered that Innistrad remaster we talked about last week and opened that as well. Now, I will say Innistrad remaster was probably on par with my expectations. I think I even said I didn't expect it to be the best, but
Yeah.
I did it for theme stuff. Um, but it was kind of lame, I will say. Was not super excited. It's also very cheap for a reason.
Yeah.
I did not get a serialized card in either of them.
No.
So in Mom, I ended up getting Jin Gataxton, the oil version.
Yeah.
I got Whispering one, which is amazing. Uh, I got Yorian Sky Noodle, which I love the Sky Noodle. Not a
Mhm.
valuable card, but I love it, and it was in that cool like comic art
Yeah,
style,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I got Ragavan Nimble Pilfer, which is still like a $80 card or some crap like that.
Still a good
I
card.
got Dina in the swirly foil version, which actually looks really cool in person. I did not have that before. I got the Ozolith, the Shattered Spire, which is a great card. Elish Norngran Cenobite, which I love that card, and I actually have multiple copies of it, and I'm keeping all of them because it's just a good card.
Yeah.
And then Croxa, Titan of Death and Hunger. So that was the mom, and that was just stuff that I was like, I know this is probably worth something, or I like it, like
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Sky Noodle. Um, and I opened a lot more stuff that I'm pretty sure some of them are $10 cards. I just didn't,
Yeah.
buy because I
Yeah, yeah.
definitely did not scan every card. And that one felt like I got my money's worth. Like it really did, even though it was a $400 quote
Mhm.
unquote loss. I paid whatever the base retail was, like 150 or whatever. I forget what it was, but I bought it basically way before all the
Yeah.
prices started spiking. So this is pretty cheap box. Call it 300. I don't even care. And I felt like I got my money's worth. Not sure if it actually broke even, but I felt like it. Um, Zoom over to Innistrad, which I just got today or yesterday and opened. I did get a Craterhoof Behemoth, which is probably the big hit
Nice.
in that retro.
Yeah.
I got an Avacyn Angel of Hope in the poster format, which
I
is a
love that
really
one. I
cool
really
card.
like that
Yeah,
one.
I was happy about opening that. I will say so. Innistrad overall, not the most exciting opening. That said, I got a ton of posters, and every time I pulled a poster, they felt good. Even the ones that were only like under $1. I was just like,
Yeah.
that's cool though. It's a cool looking card.
Yeah.
So Avacyn, Angel of Hope. I got Hullbreaker Horror in the full art, which isn't really worth that much, but I actually want it for that Jingataxa
It's a fun
deck
card.
that I want to make. Yeah. I got two Edgar Markovs in the retro, one foil, one not. I got the Cathar's Crusade in the poster format in foil, which actually wasn't worth all that much, but looks really cool.
It's a good card.
Is it? Okay, maybe it was worth something then.
It's probably not.
Yeah,
It was reprinted in one of the jump starts, so there's just a ton of copies.
ton of them. Got it. Yeah, yeah. I did get Meat Hook Massacre, so that's probably the best hit in the thing. In the retro,
Oh, I that is pretty in retro.
yeah, it's pretty good. I was like, oh, I and that this was the happy moment because I don't have one of those. I've never had one of those.
Yeah.
And so that now I have my first Meat Hook Massacre, which is good because that card comes up all the time. It's like, oh, you should throw this in there. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. And I know I don't have it. Now I do. I had the second one, Meat Hook Massacre 2. I have like 3 of those, but those ones are far less useful.
Yes.
Soren Imperious Bloodlord, which is the Planeswalker, but it's the full art version. It
Yeah.
looked really cool.
That's in my Markov deck.
Yeah, is like I don't know if I'd ever do anything with this, but it is cool looking. It is a cool looking card. I did get Hermit Druid in the poster format.
I got a poster foil Hermit. Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
I was thinking about putting that in Venom, but it seems, I don't know, too strong.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I wanted to make the decks that I was building strong, but not like stupid.
Over the top, yeah. And then the last one I got was that Gisela the Broken Blade in foil, which I swear to God looks like it's foil etched, even though that's not a thing in this set. But it sure does look like it. It sure does look like it. And that's the one that has the 2-part back.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize when I pulled it. But anyways, I think that's one of the valuable cards. Overall, it was a little disappointing. So remember when we were talking about this last week, the thing that kind of put me over the edge was getting the lands, the full, or not the full art, the retro lands in foil. I have to say, I do love those lands, and they got me to buy the damn box. But as I was opening, they were not as fun as I hoped.
Really?
You know?
I like them.
Yeah. You know why? Because after you pull 3, you're just like, oh, another land.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're all basic lands with if it had a little more variety, like if some of them were like a cool, like
if there were more than 2 arts.
Yeah, like the poster art version of it, right? Like give me a horror swamp, right? In a poster art, even if it's just like swamp, whatever. Like do something like a little funky, and that would make it a lot more fun because it wouldn't be the same thing. Because like I said, after you get through the 3rd pack, you're like, oh yeah, the land slot, right? It's not a surprise, it's not novel, it's not fun. That said, I will definitely use those lands in my deck. So it's totally fine. I actually have those lands from the last time I opened Innistrad in multiple of my decks because I do love that land. It's a great basic land, but at the same time, when you're talking about like the feel of opening it, I was like, after a few, I was like, I'm less excited about the lands. Unlike Edge of Eternities, where it's like every pack or every 3rd pack you get a fancy version of a weird utility land. Some of them are super valuable, but most of them are just kind of basic utility lands that are useful, but nothing like crazy. Those ones feel good because it's a big pool. And so you'd never end up, well, maybe you do. I never opened up more than the same one, like more than 2. So generally speaking, you're getting something new every time you open a pack, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly like narrowing in on the thing that makes a good collector's opening, like in my mind, as a consumer, what do I enjoy? Like what makes a good collector's box? And more and more starting to realize kind of where the formula is. And I'm sure Watsy's ahead of me on this. It's why they probably only have the one, the one shot at the serialized card now. When it was too many back in Brothers War, they became very boring, not fun. Now it's just the very rare ones, right? So that's cool. It definitely drives the box purchase. And then I think Edge of Eternities did a good job with the land slot, right? Versus the Innistrad. So I think there's a few things that are starting to come together for me, at least. And I'm like, this is what makes a good one. And if it's going to do that, then I'm into it. But otherwise, probably won't open in the future.
Yeah.
So it's good to know because I will probably continue to open collector boxes. I do love to do that.
Yeah.
And their prices will come down eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in
Won't all be $1,000 box.
No. It will come back down to normal. We are in a phase.
Yeah. Until that phase is over, though, I will not be opening a goddamn collector box. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I am not interested. Not interested.
That's fair. So I have my decks built. Just missing 1 or 2 cards, waiting for them to trickle in. I'll just replace them if they don't before we leave. And then, but I'm excited to play these. The Peter
Yeah,
deck, I've
never
tweaked them
thought.
all. A little. I took out some spider cards to add to make it just a little more like consistent and good.
Yeah.
Because it was just I don't know. Some seemed a little forced, and I was just like, I have better cards that'll make these decks more fun.
Yeah. Functional.
Yeah. And then the Peter Parker one though with the web slinging, I think it's so thematic because every time I imagine him just like because I added Craterhoof Behemoth to that deck, and so I'm just like
Okay.
imagining him like swinging around Craterhoof and just like
Yeah.
web slinging him in.
Yeah. That's ridiculous, but okay. I That's good.
And then Miles has all his +1s. I have that. What is that? Shattered Spire from Mom. I had one of those from when we drafted. So threw that in there. Venom. Venom's probably going to be the strongest one. No, Edgar's going to be the strongest one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Edgar was pretty good. So if you tune that at
I
all,
did.
that's gonna be a beast. That might be a problem, honestly, because it was already good and it was not tuned. You could tell.
Yeah,
and it still did a little thing on its own without much effort.
I built that one for my wife so that she can stomp us.
Oh, that was my favorite deck.
You can play it too. Well, I'm sure we'll switch around.
No, not if it's gonna stomp the table. That's no fun.
Well, we'll see if it does.
Yeah,
it probably will.
Yeah, it was pretty good as was. So
I think
if you tuned it, it's going to be real good.
Everyone has answers to it though.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Green Goblin is also really fun. Norman with his discards and stuff. But I'm only bringing 4, so one of them's not making the list. We'll see. Norman's looking to be the cut, but we'll talk about it before I leave. Because I have a box that fits 4 decks.
Wondering if I should bring some decks too.
If you want to, if you have space.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, is it worth dragging them around if we don't actually end up doing it? And like, you got to understand you're risking these cards.
Right.
It's Scotland. We are going to be in rainy weather. If anything leaks, we have to stand out in the rain for something with our suitcases. Like, there is a non-zero chance you get wet cards out of this.
Yeah, they'll all be double sleeved, and they will be in the luggage when we're moving, and in my backpack when we're flying.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. Hopefully, they're not too valuable of a deck.
No, they're all about $1,000 ish. So. It'll be fine. It'll be worth it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, no, the decks are looking good. They're currently sitting under 3 comic book omnibuses being pressed down so that they are.
They fit in the deck box.
Bubbles. No, they'll fit. They'll fit in the deck box.
I know. I'm joking.
Yeah. No, I got this plastic deck box that has, I think it's BCW, and it has spots for 4 decks, double sleeved, and tokens and dice.
Yeah, that works.
So it's kind of like everything we need in one confined box.
Yeah.
That's going to be the headache part, is going through all my tokens and finding enough of the right tokens.
That doesn't matter. Just bring like randoms or copy.
Yeah.
Like, copy is always a good stand-in for anything.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm complaining, but they're all in a pile.
My tokens alphabetized.
Oh, dang. How did you do that with them double-sided?
Just whatever side came up.
Okay.
And I just keep them facing that way, you know, in the box. Yeah. And like, yeah, sure. But it does create a problem. Like, if I'm looking for a particular token I want both sides.
Yeah.
I'll go on TCG Player, right, to see, does that even exist? And it does, right? Yeah, and or wherever. Honestly, I think TCG Player doesn't even have them all. But anyways, once I find it exists, then I do have to go and look on both alphas because I'm not sure which side I had it on.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
It's a pain. It's a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world.
No, and I know where they all are. They're all combined right now. So, and sorted by set. So it's not going to be too hard.
I have to say, of all the things that I've like had alpha and then tried to maintain, the tokens are probably the least well maintained.
Yeah, because you don't want to. Yeah,
More
did it
times I've been like,
once and
fuck
then
it, here's a
yeah.
chunk that goes in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Done that more times with tokens than any other thing.
Yeah, because you sort everything else and then you're like,
Everything
oh
else,
yeah, there's the
I've
pile
been
of tokens.
very
F that.
strict of keeping the alpha on for my lands. For everything
Yeah.
else, I've been strict on it. With the tokens, I have more times than not been like, I don't care. Just
Yeah.
shove them in.
Yeah. That's fair.
So
But
it's
then they're by
alphabetical with
set.
chunks of not alphabetical.
But those chunks will be by set, so you can kind
No,
of
not for
no.
me. Oh, I
Okay.
see. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you
Well,
open the
maybe.
box and then you put the tokens to the
No,
side. No.
sort of. Yeah, kind of. A little bit, maybe not. I don't know. It depends because sometimes it's stuff I've pulled out trying to do
That's
different
fair.
things, and then I'm just like, oh, I don't want to actually use these.
That's fair.
So,
But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
yeah.
What else? New Pokemon game came out.
Yeah.
Legends EA. I started it. Seems fun. Seems like a good grindy kind of game. It'll be good for traveling. Both this week and next. It'll be interesting to see because I heard from what I've seen, Pokemon's taking a bit of like a sideways or down, which is good because it should. But I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on it. It's still not in a place where I want to get involved again. But
Yeah. Okay. I just saw a thing. I have read it up in the magic section, and I just saw something. And we should discuss it because I'm curious.
Okay.
It specifically says this is actually kind of cool. Here, I'll send you the picture. Oops, I don't have your chat open. It says, can any of these universes beyond survive Phyrexia? And then it has like a really cool dramatic art of the Phyrexian lords or whatever, and then all the arts for the different universes beyond. And actually, I love that. If they do break that wall, which we think was a reality shift or whatever the last set,
reality fracture
might be breaking that wall. Like that is an area that actually would be interesting. A Phyrexian Frodo.
I think Warhammer has the best chance.
Well, that one it actually is almost natural.
Yeah,
like
it's like this is just another
part
planet.
of Warhammer would just join them. They'd be like, yes, this is the dominant way to be.
Yeah. Well, the Imperials would just
Yeah, and then like you have Dungeons and Dragons. We've had Phyrexian like various creatures. Why not dragons? Transformers. I'm not sure how that would actually work out because they're also robots.
Marvel saves the universe every day.
Yeah, they have to have heroes that are going to try, but some of them will fall, right?
Yeah.
Like some of them have to fall. That always happens. So I don't know.
And then they'll be revived.
I'm not against this idea. When I hated the idea of it breaching that barrier, now I'm like, okay.
It's inevitable. Yeah, it's inevitable.
I think it is. I think it is inevitable. We'll find out. Reality Fracture's coming into next year.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more hyped on Universes Beyond than I've ever been.
I'm okay with it. The only one that I'm like on is Star Trek, and if they do it right, I'm sure I'll like it. Like and everyone, like this is year 3 of this, right? Where I've been like, no, don't really like this, not gonna like it. And then I look at the cards and I'm like, oh, I actually like it. They did a good job.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, I was not hyped on. I was like, eh. And then we saw it and I was like, actually really freaking cool. Like, well done. So that's why I'm like, Star Trek will probably be fine. I just
don't have any affinity to the IP.
My first instinct is no. But reality is it's a huge universe with a lot of things. Think of the Borg, think of the Klingons, think of
it
have
makes sense.
all this IP they can draw on.
Yeah.
And they tie it to Magic well. If they do a good job in the construction of it, it will probably be kind of cool. Again, I'm on it, but I was on Spider-Man and I ended up really liking it. So I'm leaving myself open to change my opinion. The Hobbit, a revisit on that. If the art's cool, it's going to be awesome. The superhero ones, I'm kind of take it or leave it in general, but they do work. Like they clearly by Spider-Man, they do work. And then having a group of superheroes, which I hope they have a 5 set for the commander decks. That would be awesome.
I hope they do.
That idea. Yeah, I would love that.
There needs to be
again. On the mechanics so far, but it's still early. Let's see what it actually looks like by the time it comes out. Because it took me a while. I was also that on the Bender set, right? And now I'm into it. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah. No, TMNT, There's one product that I'm really excited about. The Turtle Team Up box.
That's not the pizza box, is it?
No, this is the 4-player co-op against the boss deck.
Oh yeah. I'm into that. I'm into that. I'm into actually several of the things. I just don't like the pizza deck or
Yeah,
the pizza box.
I think that's the special bundle, like the comic book box
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the
It's sort of
collector
like a little
with the
bit
collector pack. Yeah,
cheesy, and it's totally for fans, and
yeah,
that's fine. Like I have nothing against it. It's just I'm very much not for me.
yeah. It's the gift bundle. It's the gift
Yeah,
bundle. Um, but I think like because really you could have the Turtle Team Up basically be a board game night
yes.
and teach people that don't know how to play Magic because you're all on the same team.
Yep. Yep. That's actually a lot of what we did with my Magic friends when I first came back to paper.
Mm-hmm.
Our first few sets, because they kept trouncing me when we tried to play Commander, and I was
Yeah,
like, I can't do this, and I was getting pissed, and they could
yeah,
tell. So we started doing the what is it called, Arch Enemy, I
yeah,
think, because they have had Arch Enemy decks set up for a long time,
yeah,
specifically so they can try decks out without it feeling too bad.
yeah,
And so we started doing that, and it actually kept me going, you know.
yeah, yeah. And
So
I have a bunch of friends that want to learn to play Magic, but every
it's
time I
perfect.
sit down with them and it's like a 1v1 starter deck, and then it's
Yeah,
just like,
it's just overwhelming.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I can't look at their hand, and yeah, it's silly. But I think this will be really fun. Yeah.
I got to find another thing I'm into though, as far as deck building. I want to do that Jin Gataxa, that blue that I pulled because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's fun. But when I looked at lists, they all seem like way too hardcore. I do not want to be as salty as it's apparently built to be.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm like,
fair.
I don't want to be that blue deck, but at the same time, I want to build something that's synergistic and fun and makes it work
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of a thing to flip it and then go through the saga on the other
Oh yeah,
side is
yeah,
really
yeah,
cool. And then flip it back. Like I really want that to work, but it seems difficult without it being optimized for it. And then once you get optimized, you're very salty. Like you're building a salty deck at that point. It's
yeah,
like super control, super. Yeah, I was looking at, it, I was like, oh, this is rough. This would piss off people. I don't want to piss people off.
yeah. No,
Um,
that's fair.
but I do want to build that, and I pulled a few cards with the last sets that I opened that actually fit that deck. So I'm tempted. I'll see if I can get around to it. Got to get some Jaces and some Jingataxes though, some other ones. I don't know if that's how you say that.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone knows how to say the name.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Anything else?
I think that's all I got besides economicals.
Let's just talk about some economicals. It's bad news again, guys. Sorry.
Surprise.
Warning. Shut it off if you don't want to hear it. There is a Harvard review of GDP for the year, first half of the year, and without data center efforts, economic activity driven by data centers, GDP was 0.1% for the first half of the year growth. So the entire growth we've seen this year was because of data centers around AI.
Fun.
That scares the crap out of me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone in tech knows that we're in a bubble, like everyone. This is
Yeah.
not surprising. This happens when there's a new technology that can drastically change the mathematics and the economics of corporations. It does this, right? We see a frothy bubble phase and then we see a refinement to what works, right? That's standard since like the dot-com bubble. We've done this like 100 times with different technologies. There's an adoption curve. It's well studied too. Like it's a thing that's known. That's fine if it's within like a sector or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
AI isn't. AI is applicable to like everything basically. Anywhere people use their brains, which is everything. And so as a result, everyone's going all in on it, like because the winner will take all, right? We'll technically be able to do basically anything that humans can do. That's the general theory. I'm simplifying it, but that's why all this activity is driven around the infrastructure for it, because the need is great to get there first. But the problem is when this bubble inevitably pops, which it will, we all know it will, everyone in the space knows it will. Um, 90% gets wiped out, right? And like the 10% survive. That's pure normal economics for startups and new technology adoption. It always happens every time. Um, if all of our economic activity was driven around the infrastructure for this. So like go back in history, right? ISPs, this happened,
Hmm.
right? There's 100 ISPs that started within like a year. And this is heavy duty CapEx building out wires like copper cable all over the country, right? Like it's
Yeah,
laying a network, right? It's this whole thing. And this was like DSL
a lot
times,
of
like
jobs.
early on. A lot of jobs, a lot of construction, a lot of build out and all this stuff. Well, how many internet providers do we have today? It's like
Yeah.
10 total and three really, right? That cover most of the country. Like the other seven are kind of small micro areas, like in that where it's hard to get like Comcast or Verizon, right?
Hmm.
Um, so it's that's what happens. They consolidate when the failures happen. But what happened during that time frame is we had a lot of dead wires sitting around. All this infrastructure was built out. Now that's not a big deal because those wires can just sit there until someone can turn them on, right?
Hmm.
When you're building data centers that are consuming massive amounts of power to run and water to run, if it dies, its use case dies, the economics flip upside down. Actually, they flip upside down before that even happens, but they're already upside down and they go worse when this stuff collapses. So it's not just like a loss of construction jobs and like the boom times, it's a loss of functionality in the long term and potential like bad repercussions for everyone's power bill, water bill, et cetera, right? So you're going to have these dead data centers sitting around drawing power, drawing water because they're going to keep them running, right? They won't drop them because that's the only way to make any money out of them.
Right.
And when that happens, you're going to see all these negative impacts for everyone that's in the area. And that's happening across the country. So that this scares me more than anything. The fact that this was so much of our GDP in the year so far, because that will pop eventually, and when it does, that means we're going to have a massive GDP crash, in my opinion, if we have not already transitioned to a different driver at that point, which is possible. It's possible that like some of these companies pop up that are using AI or a core foundational model that can absolutely utilize the infrastructure in a way that's actually makes money and is beneficial GDP wise. But that's a big if. You don't want to bet your whole economy on it, and that's what we're doing right now. We're betting the whole economy on it. It's that one scares me. That
Yeah.
one scares me. Anyway, so that was some analysis that came out of Harvard. So sucks. Hopefully we don't see the bad side of that one, but yeah, buckle up. China tariffs are off now. We talked about that one last week, how we suddenly had tariffs and everyone was surprised and it was a big uncertainty, if you're uncertainty doubt situation. Um, well, apparently Trump came out and said we can't be too aggressive on tariffs. Like he just randomly said this on some news thing. And it's like, and he was talking about China, and it's like, so no one knows. That's really, it's like super uncertainty because it was 100% increase, and it was based on the rare earth metal restrictions that they put on us, which is like totally understand both sides of why this is happening, right?
Hmm.
They did something to us, we did something back, but now he's like backing off of it without necessarily getting anything for it. I don't know why, and we just don't know what the number is now. So what what's happening. I was talking to
Right.
my brother-in-law, and he does international engineering for Black and Decker, right? Imagine the supply chain for putting together a drill, right, or something that you use in your house like that, right? It's a lot because you're talking batteries, you're talking motors, you're talking little widgets, like little screws and fastener things that go in it, plastics, casing, constructing it all together, testing all that stuff, right? Like it's a big supply chain. It goes all over the world. There's pieces pulled from all over the place.
Hmm.
And he's like, yeah, this hit. And they technically trigger November 1st. And he's got a massive order going out November 2nd. And, he's got to get these things moving. He has to move them. Like, but it's going to double the price of your drills from Black and Decker if it happens to be one day after this new tariff. So he's like,
Mm.
yeah, something that's like $150, like some like lawnmower or something,
Hmm.
right? I don't know, whatever, is now $300 overnight because of this. He's like, that's not going to work. Like people will not buy it and we'll have already built it. There's nothing we can do. These are built,
Yeah.
it's about
Yeah.
transporting them at that point. And he's like, so it's going to cause all sorts of problems. And he's like, I hope this stuff gets sorted out because the umbrella company, I forget what it is, for Black and Decker has already laid off like 20,000 workers in the last 2 years, I think he said. And he's like, they're like, we're already like thinned departments and stuff. He's like, I don't know where else we would cut if there's a downturn from something like this. And of course, there will be a downturn if they have to take a what everyone's used to being think about cards. When you have $100 box and suddenly it's a $200 box, what happens? People buy less of them.
Yes.
And if it's already made, you already paid for all the building and you just have them, what do you do? Like cardboard's easy compared to his supply chain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's a printer, it's cardboard and a printer, right? This is like 40 different things that come together to make this happen. And so it is a lot of sunk costs to get there. And now he's got to double his price and i.e. cut half of his sales or whatever
Yeah.
because an arbitrary tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needless to say, big companies, big American companies are stressed and they're going to lay off people if the stress continues too long. So that sucks. Just thought that was an interesting one because last week we talked about it and it's changed. The IMF came out with a report that was pretty interesting. I didn't read the whole thing, but I read parts of it. And one thing that they highlighted was that the U.S. tariff uncertainty, this fear uncertainty doubt we keep talking about, is expected to cause a global slump in GDP. So basically, they think the second half of this year is going to be slow globally. So every other country is going to struggle because of our struggles that we're creating, the chaos we're creating. And that the recovery in 26, unless, of course, this tariff policy goes away and we start acting like a normal trade partner, they expect a slow recovery in 26. So kind of what we've talked about, this slump end of year into next year sort of thing, but how bad it is, no one knows. How quick it turns around, no one knows. All
Right.
that stuff. So IMF is saying it on a global scale, though, not just here, which is interesting because now you think about the damage this has done to like U.S. dollar and the U.S. Trade partnerships and all that stuff we've talked about before. Now we're seeing the ripple effects hit the rest of the economy because the U.S. is such a huge driver of the world economy. And I know some people will celebrate this and be like, good, everyone else should suffer. But I'm telling you, we will suffer more here. And they'll suffer a little bit as well because they see this as this uncertainty and doubt. They're basically making new trade deals. It's like the farming thing we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, where it's like Brazil is now selling all of China's soybeans. Like all of Brazil's soybeans are being sold to China now, and that took place of what they used to buy from America. They are buying zero from America now. So that's
Right.
a massive hurt for us, a little hurt for China because Brazil doesn't produce quite as much soybeans. So they have to like do this thing where it's like 80% is covered by Brazil and the other 20 they have to get like a little piece from here, a little piece from there. So it's harder, less efficient. Globally, this is why globalization happened and why supply chains worked the way they did and why, I know it's one of those things where it's like, oh, America should be, top and dominant, except when you do that, it actually creates problems. And that's what we're seeing. They're trying to force this dominance, and instead they're getting zero as a result, which is going to be a massive pain in the butt for farmers. Same thing's going to happen in other industries. Farms just quicker because it's food,
Right.
it
Right.
rots. So
Yeah.
like you see it first in farming, but
It's on
it's
a
going to start
timetable.
happening with everything else, right? That's what's triggering. That's what's occurring now. And that's what the IMF is warning about. So it seems like we'll see that. And then on top of that, I think the news is hitting people, the realities are hitting people, and there was a index about American consumer pessimism, and it does seem it's rising even across the political spectrum. Now, obviously, the right wing is a little less pessimistic, but they are still at like a 40-50% level of is the economy going the right way or is it causing problems sort of thing. And it's like about half of them, it's a little less than half, and then of course the Democratic side was like 60-70%. It's like it's terrible, right? So it's still split along political lines, but it's rising on both sides to the point where it's like we probably can't ignore it too much longer because it's like the farmers, right? They're like, yeah, I'm screwed. We can get a one-time check from the government. Great, thanks. That covers me for this quarter. It doesn't cover me for the next 2 years, right? Like, what do I do? If we don't figure out how to sell our soybeans into the international market and we refuse to do so at a reasonably competitive price, those farmers are screwed. Like, there's no way around that.
Yeah.
So, this is why everyone said tariffs are bad, don't do it. And every time we do tariffs, terrible things happen. Every 100 years we try it, and every 100 years we get slapped in the nose and realize this was a bad idea. So it's just coming to play now. So we'll see. I'm glad that Americans are waking up to it. I hope political pressure can be applied to both sides to actually create a change that's positive for us because, we produce a lot. We have a lot of capability and we really should be, a global dominant economic position. Maybe not the top, maybe China is the top because they have more factories and more people and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I didn't want it to be that way, but we kind of already handed them the first place. So
Right.
I'm okay with us being second or third. I'd rather that than be 50th or 100th,
Yeah.
which is the direction we're going right now. So I hope the political pressure can be applied to get, smarter actual trade policies in place because yes, I agree. We should have better trade deals for America. We do a lot and we're a big economy. I think this is going to knock if it drags on for a long time, this will knock some of that cultural change into us that I think is necessary. Or consumer economy, we're used to getting
Mm-hmm.
like free and cheap stuff, and you go to other countries and they just don't think that way. And I think on the other side of this, assuming it hurts big enough, will have to be that way. A lot of people are going to learn that they cannot just consume, right?
Yeah.
And it's a difficult transition, but it is happening whether we want it or not because we are making stupid mistakes in the world. So, yeah, that's pretty much it on economics. Another joyful day of economic partial information.
Fun.
Yep, yep. Maybe good outcomes in the end. We'll see.
Yeah. So here's a question. I've been thinking about it. Just with like what I talked about last week about moving away from the Playbox thing because it's just I don't know if it makes sense anymore
Mhm.
with the new prices. Like I'm happy with everything I have, but it's the moving forward. It's things have changed.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about collecting just the high end hits of singles.
Oh, a single gambit. That's
Mm-hmm.
risky as hell. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know why?
Hmm.
You can't control, manage, or be ahead of the curve on reprints.
That's true.
That's what makes that super risky.
That's true.
And that's because that will cut the value in half, right? Like if you do that as a speculative thing.
No, this is because this is all of this card stuff is just fun stuff after my
Yeah, but
important
you want it
investing.
to make money,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, if your goal is for it to make money, that is a super risky play because the making money part is completely determined on how often they reprint something.
True.
And you have no control or foresight into that. Like that's ahead of the market curve. So you will just straight up lose half the value on certain cards, things like that.
Randomly.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Now, if you're doing it as I want to make sure I have all the fun staples for my collection so that I can play the game, that's a whole different thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what my collection basically is. It's
Yeah.
like every time I find an orange card that seems good, even though I don't need it right now, I'm like, that goes to my collection.
An
All
orange
these
card?
cards I just talked about, orange, like the mythic.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mythic and
Yeah.
rares, right? Like
Yeah.
anytime I see one, I'm like, oh yeah, that's going in my collection. Like all those cards I just listed, they're going in
Yeah.
my
Oh,
collection.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not selling any of these cards. I
Yeah.
opened those for my collection.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a different game altogether. And I'm sure the value of my collection continues to go up in the long run, to a degree, mostly because I keep adding stuff to it.
Right.
But I'm not looking at am I getting 100% back plus?
No,
Because
and I'm
that
not looking at
seems
that
more
out of this.
okay.
This is more so like maybe going back and picking up Lord of the Rings posters. Maybe going back and picking up like for sets that I really like. But kind of like a personal collection fancy binder kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
could do that
Thinking
as a
about it.
collect. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get where you're coming from on it. It's your kind of your call. It's just
Oh, yeah.
definitely riskier than boxes. I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, because boxes are boxes. They're gonna go down every day. Or like the amount in the world will go down every day.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Whereas the cards, it's a lot harder for the market to realize and recognize that because the going down is like.
Well, that's why I
water
was
damage,
thinking like the top
basements,
hits because
whatever.
there's
Yeah.
so few of them.
And that's fine until they reprint it, which they are
Yeah.
clearly doing a lot of.
Yeah, and I mean, even Lord of the Rings isn't safe because we got the Hobbit coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
the best stuff from there might get a reprint or
Oh,
something.
it probably will
similar,
in the bonus.
you
It'll
know?
be in the bonus sheet because they don't want the One Ring in standard.
Yeah. Well, not only the One Ring, but the
Orcish
like
Bowmaster.
Bowmasters. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like because it's a good card that people love, and they like WotC doesn't mess around with that. They put more cards out, and they want to capture that equity, right?
Yeah.
You know, so they will do it. Like they are motivated to damage that strategy. You know,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
from a financial perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, anything else you got?
That's all I got.
Cool. Well, until next week, if the world's still spinning, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.